In the vibrant tapestry of South American rainforests, a tiny primate brings joy to the canopy, the Saguinus Oedipus, affectionately known as the cotton-top tamarin. Join us on a delightful exploration into the world of these charming creatures, as we uncover their evolutionary history, ecological significance, and the challenges it confronts. Deep within the last remnants of tropical dry forests straddling Colombia and northwestern Venezuela lives one of the most endangered primates in the Western Hemisphere, the charismatic cotton-top tamarin. Distinguished by a striking crest of white fur encircling an impish frizzy face, these miniature New World monkeys pack big personality into their tiny frames. Exceptional intelligence, agility, curiosity, and social complexity all contribute to the enduring appeal and charm exhibited by this species. But a potent combination of extreme habitat specialization, limited geographic distribution and spiraling habitat loss driven by human encroachment now threatens the cotton-top tamarin with seemingly inevitable extinction in the wild unless critical interventions occur soon. Current estimates suggest fewer than 6,000 cottontops persist within their last refuge in Colombia's Caribbean lowlands, coastal forests historically converted first by Spanish colonists and missionaries over 400 years ago, and more recently decimated by insatiable agricultural expansion, cattle ranching, illicit crop cultivation and urban sprawl. Containment within this diminishing patchwork of habitat fragments amplifies numerous threats from inbreeding depression, lack of ecological connectivity, food scarcity, and predation. But the cotton-top tamarin continues perishing largely from simple ignorance and lack of concern for conserving remaining dry tropical forest environmental integrity. Evolutionary history. The evolutionary divergence of the cotton-top tamarin from its closest relatives likely occurred around 10 to 13 million years ago during the late Miocene epoch when uplift of the northern Andes mountain range significantly altered the landscape and local climate across the northwestern regions of South America. As highland habitats became more arid, novel xeric environments emerged favoring evolution of drought-hardy lineages like those leading towards modern tamarin radiations across the Caribbean lowlands of Colombia and Venezuela. With forest canopies disintegrating during drier periods, ancestral cotton-top tamarins adapted through dietary shifts from predominant frugivory towards greater incorporation of insects and plant exudates inaccessible to larger-bodied primates. Beneath the transitional regime of seasonal drought and precipitation fluctuations over subsequent millennia, cotton-top tamarins consolidated into specialists residing in coastal areas harboring increasingly rare deciduous dry broadleaf forest remnants. Rapid upright leaping abilities enabled otherwise inconspicuous fruit foraging amidst dense thorny vegetation. Cotton-top group cohesion and relatedness facilitated efficient resource defense and cooperative survival amidst harshly desiccated landscapes. Leaving a subtropical rainforest heritage largely behind in favor of this early commitment to open canopy understory milieus, ancestral cotton-top tamarins became firmly sequestered within deteriorating corridors linking Colombia and Venezuela. The species' eventual endemic limits as tropical dry forests evaporated across an ever-expanding circle until just 0.05% of their biome remained intact. Anthropogenic destruction first began over 400 years ago upon the arrival of Spanish colonists, further accelerated over the last 2 centuries as the modern age enveloped their ecological refugia. The cotton-top tamarin's taxonomic classification falls under the family Calitrichidae alongside other New World monkeys like the saddleback tamarin, Goeldi's monkey, and lion tamarin. Among the smallest anthropoid primates on Earth, adult weights in cottontops average only about 400 to 700 grams. Yet when sighted amidst their native habitats, mature individuals immediately draw recognition from their distinctive sprig of reniform white furry crests originating atop their heads before unfurling into a cottony mane curving around their dorsally brownish-gray faces before finally terminating around the base of each ear in extended whiskers. The bold contrasting crests and facially framed contours provide visual signals amplifying various social gestures and facial expressions across the surprisingly diverse range of behaviors exhibited by cottontops during their daily activities. Rest of the body pelage consists of variegated shades ranging from a gray saddle transitioning into intermixed khaki, rufous, tan and brown tones blending seamlessly into the earth-tone dry forest canopy palette as camouflage during bouts of relative immobility. Double fur layers shield against the xeric climate extremes of their Colombian range. Sensitive bare palms, toilet claw, grooming nails, diminutive simian builds and dexterous digits all allow exploitation of tightly clustered resources like flowers, buds, sap flows, bark crevices and vines inaccessible to larger-bodied competitors. Equipped with retractable claws, elongated hind limbs and prehensile tails facilitating quadrupedal grappling traverses and powerful leaps between tree crowns, cottontops epitomize adaptability found only among the world's smallest primates. Ecology. Cottontop tamarins occupy a unique niche within the tropical dry forests flanking Colombia's Caribbean coastline as endemic seed predators, pollinators and prey for local raptor populations. Lacking significant competition from other cohabiting vertebrates able to match their diminutive size, vertical climbing dexterity and tolerance for xeric habitats with drought-adapted host plant constituents like Fabaceae, Caparaceae, Bignoniaceae and Borginaceae, cottontops are free to flourish wherever remnant forest fragments persist. Their wide-ranging omnivorous diet sample insects, spiders, tree gums, fruits, flowers and even the occasional bird's egg. But specialized dentition and digestive tracts become satiated primarily by consuming seeds from diverse ripening tree species sequentially available across seasonal transitions. Cottontops essentially serve as rejuvenation vectors scarifying seeds through their ibex-like rumination cycles prior to dispersing them into new growth niches. Wherever cottontop populations congregate in healthy densities, seed rain concentrations fertilize those habitats with enhanced structural complexity favoring biodiverse regeneration. With a dependence upon forest cover and availability of fresh ripening resources, the entire reproductive cycle revolves around successfully locating and defending life-sustaining seed sources at different time points throughout the year. Beyond their direct botanical relationships, cottontops also impact local fauna. As prey species themselves sought by hawks and snakes, their prolific production churns out adequate biomass to nourish higher trophic levels. At the same time, by impeding encroachment of certain invasive grasses, cottontops indirectly benefit other native insectivores and herbivores dependent upon a healthy forest ecosystem. Habitat and behavior. Native to the Caribbean lowlands of northwestern Colombia and adjoining areas of Venezuela, the range of the critically endangered cottontop tamarin now remains restricted almost entirely to remnant dry tropical forests within Colombia's La Guajira and Cesar departments, a coastal desert fringing the Caribbean. Historically distributed more broadly across the Caribbean lowland deciduous forests and thorn scrub woodlands known as the tropical dry forest biome, cottontops persist merely in degraded fragments buffeted by expanding urbanization, agricultural development and environmentally destructive criminal activities like narcotics cultivation. Core protected areas like the Santuario de Fauna y Flora Los Colorados provide vital habitat connectivity between forest patches for a population estimated under 6,000 animals. If undisturbed, cottontop tamarins form multi-male/multi-female extended family groups foraging insularity across shared home ranges of around 20 hectares with overlapping access to multiple fruiting trees needed to meet their hyperdispersal dietary requirements. Close bonds within family units promote cooperative breeding and intense alloparenting behaviors essential for infant rearing given the litter frequency of twin births every 10 months or so. While males do the majority of infant carrying, females act as lead family members establishing cohesion through various vocal calls and threat displays. Overall population densities vacillate widely based on habitat quality, with evidence suggesting healthy dry forests support up to 25 cottontop tamarin groups per square kilometer, while in degraded habitats less than 5 groups manages to cling on. For protection, groups construct arboreal nesting platforms constructed from twigs and leaves sheltering family members at night as well as during tropical storms, extreme temperatures or predator intrusions. Defenses include vocal harassment, arboreal bombardment of branches or fecal projectiles and even group mobbing of large predators like boa constrictors, hawks, foxes, coatimundi or stray dogs wandering into cottontop tamarin territories intent on raiding unguarded nests. Conclusion. Teetering on the very precipice of extinction, the cottontop tamarin typifies how human activities can inadvertently undermine millions of years of evolutionary heritage within a few short centuries of ecological mismanagement. Having diverged around 10 million years ago from its nearest ancestors in a tropical dry forest biome potentially covering over 500,000 square kilometers across northern South America, survival for cottontops now depends entirely on forest scraps barely exceeding 1% of their original range. Over 400 years of destructive impacts have erased the Colombian tropical dry forests almost in their entirety, beginning with the very first waves of Spanish colonial incursions, and now exponentiating as we enter the Anthropocene epoch driven by cattle ranching, small-scale agriculture, illegal coca cultivation and accelerating urbanization running roughshod over this region's ecological integrity. Emblematic of a broader impending tragedy unfolding across the wider neotropics, protecting the cotton-top tamarin has become emblematic of preserving endemic biodiversity rapidly vanishing from threats like commercial farming, habitat destruction, and extractive industries actively altering landscapes inhabited for millennia. With ranges now fractionated into fragments of their historic ranges, the cotton-top requires substantial tracts of linked contiguous dry forest to survive given its dietary specializations and intricate socio-ecology. Only around 6,000 currently endure in the remnant coastal hills and ravines of Colombia's Los Colorado sanctuary. Having lost over 99% of their once thriving dry tropical forest range, cotton-tops teeter precariously on the edge, ready to be pushed into oblivion without decisive restoration actions like halting illegal deforestation, reforming agricultural practices, and uplifting socio-economic dignity for local impoverished communities exploiting forest resources unsustainably. But the struggle goes beyond simple species preservation, for cotton-tops embody the need to fend off environmental amnesia, our societal tendency to accept ecological degradation as normalized. It represents our collective ethical imperative to maintain healthy biodiversity and promote ecological memory. The cotton-top tamarin stands symbolic as a charismatic denizen celebrating the evolutionary grandeur of vanishing habitats once defining the spiritual homeland for pre-Columbian indigenous peoples living harmoniously within nature's rhythms. If we cannot protect these intrinsic wonders under our modern stewardship, then what does it say about the prospects for uplifting humanity itself moving into an uncertain future threatened by climate change and resource instability? Cotton-top tamarins represent a clarion call to reverse course and finally begin healing our dysfunctional relationship with the natural world.